Kamala Harris is composed to deliver a powerful speech to rally support for a new vision of America that is free from the chaos of the Trump era. As she takes the stage at the Ellipse, she plans to confront the divisive rhetoric of her opponent head-on, offering a bold message of unity and progress. This raises an important question. How will the actions of the past influence the choices we make for our future? Stay with us till the end as we explore how Harris's vision can reshape America. Kamala Harris will focus on her vision of intergenerational change during the speech that will be delivered in Washington and is hoped to attract as many as 40,000 people.
Speech at the Ellipse just outside of the White House, tens of thousands of people gathering to hear the Vice President, Kamala Harris, speak.
Nevertheless, her opponent will always be the target of her discussion. January 6, 2021 will ever be in the books as President Trump stood at the Ellipse, a park south of the White House, to assert against what he dubbed a rigged election. "We fight like hell," he said, adding, "If we don't, we're done," he said. After him, some of his supporters went to the Capitol and assaulted it. This intense and angry scene is precisely what Harris wants to bring to the forefront as she takes the stage around 7:30 p.m. Tuesday at the Ellipse. In her speech, she wants to call Trump out on his ability to divide the people and his intent to continue to do so.
We know who Donald Trump is. He is the person who stood at this very spot nearly 4 years ago.
Donald Trump has spent over a decade attempting to ensure the American people avoid each other and live in fear of their neighbors. According to excerpts of her speech provided by her office, that's who he is, Harris plans to say. The last thing on her mind is for such a perspective to represent the American culture or what the country stands for. But America, she will declare, I am here tonight to say, that's not who we are. This powerful message is designed to mobilize and uplift the audience with her vision of a brighter tomorrow against the backdrop of Trump's checkered yesterday. She will take the stage at the Ellipse with the White House as her backdrop as Vice President Kamala Harris stands ready to give what her campaign says is destined to be the campaign's closing argument. She wants them to consider what another term of Trump could mean to the future she wants to create and how things might be different otherwise under her leadership. Reflecting this mood, she intends to talk about her willingness to rise above party politics and come up with commonsensical ways and means to improve people's lives. I promise to touch on bipartisan themes and bipartisan solutions to make your lives easier, she is supposed to utter. For the record, I am not interested in getting any political mileage. That is why I am hoping to make some progress. Before the show, Harris was rehearsing at one of the oldest buildings in Washington, fixing the speech at the last moment.
Free and fair election. An election that he knew he lost.
But she had a group of her advisors by her side, including Adam Frankel, one of the most essential speechwriters, and Jennifer O'Malley Dillon, the chair of the campaign. Together, they worked on the message, correcting its tone to be comfortable for the audience and unambiguously presenting her goals of creating a better future. This moment is vital for Harris, who wants people to believe in progress and turn out in the elections to understand that their actions matter. We are aware there are so many undecided voters and those that are yet to decide whether to vote or not, Jennifer O'Malley, Dillon Harris's campaign manager, said in a conference call with journalists on Tuesday morning. She said that Harris's planned speech is to appeal to a part of the voting public that could be exhausted by the election intrigues of the Trump administration. Her new generation of leadership is going to be a related theme, O'Malley Dillon said, pointing out that the message will be the people of America.
Hey everyone, I'm Jen O'Malley Dillon, chair of the Harris Walls campaign, and I am here today to give you.
As Harris flew out of Joint Base Andrews on Monday for a campaign trip to Michigan, she offered a preview of her opinions when reporters insisted on her reaction to a rally Trump conducted the day prior at Madison Square Garden.
Kamala Harris is responding to those controversial comments made at the Donald Trump rally at Madison Square Garden last night.
At that rally, speakers insulted different people, using ethnic and other slurs against black people, Puerto Ricans, Palestinians, Jews, and Democrats such as Harris. That's why people are exhausted with him, Harris said just before she boarded Air Force Two. during which she continued to rehearse her speech with assistants. These words say that people are ready to turn the page. This idea of turning the page will be a central theme in what she hopes will be her most comprehensive address as the Democratic presidential nominee, this advisor said, discussing details of the speech that were still under consideration. Harris intends to discuss much of her biography and her policy agenda, emphasizing the ways of enabling the American people to cut their costs. However, she will maintain Trump and the danger he poses as a primary focus of her advocacy. Using both the sharing of life experiences and the positive youth-oriented policy proposals, Harris has tried to galvanize the voters who are bored with the political polarization that characterized the past few years.
We win!
Arizona, I'm here to ask for your vote.
The National Park Service is preparing for a large crowd with up to 40,000 people gathering to be able to listen to the address of Vice President Kamala Harris. Well, that's double the capacity of Madison Square Garden. She has always been a voice for the people, Cedric Richmond, a co-chair of Harris's campaign, said on a teleconference with other journalists. He compared her with Donald Trump, saying that while she is working for the community, Trump has been involved in a lifelong fight to brand himself. Harris wants to sell herself as a different kind of politician in this toxic political climate of the past decade. In a recent poll, while the majority of Americans see her as a changemaker and Trump as someone who has transformed the Republican Party in his image, however, problems, including Harris's closeness to President Joe Biden and the policies championed by the Democratic Party, including the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, confront Harris as she heads into the race's final days. Biden won't deliver the speech at the Ellipse, and Harris has been attempting to establish her leadership without completely eclipsing Biden. Such a high-profile personality is Trump, who has made very provoking statements and even actions during the campaign period. Nonetheless, Trump has remained very competitive, with Clinton being ahead only slightly in significant swing states up to polling. Harris and her team are convinced that they can persuade new voters to cast their vote, explicitly pointing at white college-educated women who may be reluctant regarding the president. Lately, she has been campaigning primarily in Texas and Michigan, questioning the future of reproductive rights in GOP-led states. She has invited women experiencing restricted access to abortions and collaborated with such celebrities as Beyoncé and Michelle Obama. At the Ellipse, she will link the actions and rhetoric of Trump to the events on January 6, 2021, UK din that another Trump term could pose a significant threat to American democracy. Harris intends mainly to focus on the risks posed by potential curtailment of rights to abortion and other measures connected with Project 2025, a right-wing policy platform. She will also speak on Trump's economic agenda, such as the tariffs that will exert pressure on America's relations with the other nations. Harris will be standing at the location of an event Trump has sought to recast and has tried to warn Americans of what he may try to do with even fewer checks on his authority. In an ad that the Harris campaign published last week, John F. Kelly, Trump's former chief of staff, said that Trump would qualify for the general definition of fascist. Critically, the ad raises issues of Trump as being viable, unstable, and needing unfettered office access. Still, Harris is supposed to continue this narrative throughout her speech and to give the American people hope to leave the Trump era behind. On Tuesday, she expects to do 5 interviews, 4 on TV to speak to voters in cities such as Detroit, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh, and 1 in Spanish in Pennsylvania to reach out to Hispanic and Puerto Rican voters. After giving the address at the Ellipse, Harris will step up her vote mobilization activities and address rallies in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and other swing states. 7 days before Tuesday's elections, 30% of voter growth incorporating prominent states has occurred, guiding both parties' tactics. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan receive particular attention from the strategy since they offer a pool of votes. Of the registered voters, the highest response is from North Carolina, with 46% having voted, while Georgia's is 43% and Nevada's 38%. Harris's team is a combination of relieved and wary this week, with an increasingly optimistic outlook as the days go by. O'Malley Dillon stressed that Kulkarni could observe increased growth in progress across the battleground states where early voting had already started, which may indicate that the election would be tight. As Kamala Harris aims to reshape America by confronting the chaos of the past, will her message resonate with voters seeking change? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on the unfolding election narrative and the future of American leadership.